I feel sorry to the fans because the fight is boring. The fight is boring. Like that's not the fans are expecting to us.
Pretty certain Terence Crawford in his brain is saying to himself, I can beat this dude. You know what I'm saying? If he actually goes through with it, he'll be 38 years of age next Sunday.
There's a guy right now in the sport that's supposed to be the man, big bad wolf. You beat him, you the wolf. Now it's like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, well, so I'm gonna fight. You beat the shark, you beat the wolf.
Manny Pacquiao mocked Floyd Mayweather for calling out Terence Crawford, saying he actually feels sorry for the fans because this isn't the kind of fight boxing deserves. According to Pacquiao, the matchup would be dull and nothing more than an exhibition. He reminded everyone that Mayweather has been retired for years and hasn't taken a real fight in a long time, making the whole idea pointless.
The fight is boring. Like the fight is boring. Like that's not the fans are expecting to us. I mean, as a fighter, if I'm a fan, of course I want to see a good fight, like changing fight, not a fashion show.
Manny Pacquiao didn't hold back in his criticism of Floyd Mayweather, saying he actually pities the retired champion because his focus seems to be driven purely by money. In Pacquiao's view, Mayweather's return to the ring isn't about legacy or genuine competition but about cashing in on exhibition shows. He called the rumored matchup with Terence Crawford nothing more than a greed-driven spectacle rather than a true athletic contest. For Pacquiao, this kind of approach cheapens boxing, turning it into a business performance where fighters parade like models on a runway instead of stepping in as real warriors.
At the beginning of this conversation, you say, I don't like boastful people. How is it like fighting Mayweather then? Did he get on your nerves? Because I feel like he's a little bit more boastful than the people you might be wanting to hang out with.
Yeah, he's boastful. I think his God is the material things, money, everything like that. I'm pity with him because I want to share the word of God in him if he believes God.
Yeah, I've heard he's a generous man. I think he's done good things. I think, he kind of reminds me of like a lot of people are like this, by the way, including myself. I'm not just saying him.
Yeah.
I'm including myself. The man who goes up to Jesus and says, what should I do to get into heaven? He says, sell all your belongings. And he walked away crying because he couldn't sell his belongings.
Exactly.
The announcement of a 2026 showdown between Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson sent shockwaves through the boxing world. Analysts were quick to note that this isn't a meeting of two fighters at their peak, but rather an entertainment-driven spectacle built for revenue. The bout is being promoted as a tune-up for Mayweather ahead of a possible clash with Terence Crawford later that same year. Observers believe both events are structured around financial gain, with massive pay-per-view numbers almost guaranteed. While Tyson's legendary status and Mayweather's global brand ensure worldwide media attention, many argue the matchup holds little true sporting significance.
For Jake and Tyson and some people like the likes of Carl Froch viewed that as an endorsement. Like, look, man, I'm just working. It's a big opportunity to be on Netflix. I didn't put the fight together. I'm not paying these guys. So, let's chill out. But all right, I'm not going to poo-poo this. I just don't know what CSI is. And the way it was presented made me think that there was like a secondary press release to come, that they'll be involved in like some sort of like virtual boxing thing. Like, it just didn't seem real. You know why it didn't seem real? I'll tell you why. There's no date attached to it. There's no venue attached to it. Forget rules. Exhibition, not exhibition, weight. I mean, here's a guy who fought a heavyweight fighting a... Forget all that. These things can get figured out. The fine details. The fact that it was announced... Why announce something with no date or location attached to it? What's the point? Unless you're just trying to get people excited and trying to get them, trying to get some investors or something like that.
But maybe also testing the waters. If the response was overwhelmingly positive, maybe you go, okay, we move forward. If the response is muted or negative, maybe you go, okay, we're not going to actually do this. You lob it out there as a way to poll the public, and then make an adjustment.
So you don't think it happens?
I do not think it happens. I just don't think there will be enough interest. I know they have huge name value. There's zero after the last performance by Mike Tyson against Jake Paul. I don't think there's going to be interest in seeing Mike Tyson do that again.
The possibility of Terence Crawford taking on David Benavidez has become a hot topic among boxing fans. Benavidez is considered one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport, bringing size, youth, and relentless aggression into the ring. Many believe a clash with him would push Crawford in ways no opponent ever has. Still, no official announcement has been made, keeping the matchup in the realm of speculation. The buzz underscores the desire among fans for real, high-stakes battles that carry genuine risk, far beyond the exhibition bouts and celebrity-driven spectacles dominating the sport.
Man, generational, talented fighter. Like, he accomplished what no other fighter is ever going to accomplish.
The possibility of Terence Crawford taking on David Benavidez has become a hot topic among boxing fans. Benavidez is considered one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport, bringing size, youth, and relentless aggression into the ring. Many believe a clash with him would push Crawford in ways no opponent ever has. Still, no official announcement has been made, keeping the matchup in the realm of speculation. The buzz underscores the desire among fans for real, high-stakes battles that carry genuine risk, far beyond the exhibition bouts and celebrity-driven spectacles dominating the sport.
That league that shocked the world this past Saturday, Mexican Independence Day weekend, where he took on and defeated another first ballot Hall of Famer, but he essentially jumped up 3 weight classes, technically 2, from 154 to 168. They only had one fight at 154 last August against Adrian Manjamar. Terence Crawford defeated Saul Canelo Alvarez, who is a 4-division champion, 2-time undisputed super middleweight, and the reigning, at the time, super middleweight world champion. Undisputed world champion. And Terence Crawford beat him handily and convincing. And because he beat him so easily, now the 63 win, 3 loss, 2 draw, 39 win by way of knockout, biggest threat has been now imposed on Terence Crawford, and that's the Mexican Ecuadorian monster, David Benavidez, who is a 2-division undefeated world champion, is the 2-time WBC middleweight, and reigning WBC light heavyweight, 175-pound champion, who has a record of 30 wins, no loss, no draw, 24 wins by way of knockout. Stands 6'2" and 75-inch arms. This is a fight that David Benavidez has been calling from for Canelo Alvarez when he was at 168, and Canelo Alvarez should be around him. But Canelo Alvarez is 5'7", with a 70-inch arm. He started his career at 147 pounds, made his real name 104 pounds. He's not a big guy, okay? Those styles make fights. Benavidez is 6'2" with a 75-inch arm. His last fight at 168 was Andre. He rehydrated to 193. So he's a big guy. Canelo Alvarez probably rehydrate to 182, maybe 185 max, right? He's not a big guy, right?
Trainer Greg Hackett praised Terence Crawford in the aftermath of his stunning win over Canelo Alvarez. He described Canelo as the shark of boxing, a long-standing symbol of dominance who had ruled the sport with strength and skill for years. For Hackett, the fact that Crawford not only faced Canelo but dismantled him marks a major shift at the very top of boxing. By defeating a fighter once seen as untouchable, Crawford has become the new predator in the waters, the man every contender now has to fear. Hackett's remarks also raise a critical question about the future. If Crawford could conquer the toughest fighter of his generation, who is left to truly challenge him? Fans are now debating whether he'll keep fighting long enough to face new threats or retire while sitting firmly at the peak of his dominance.
Because you gotta remember, Canelo is the guy right now in the sport that's supposed to be the man, you know, big bad wolf. Beat him, you the wolf. Now it's like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, who else I'm gonna fight? Beat the shark, you beat the wolf. Man, like, you know what I mean? Ain't no more ops out there. There's ops out there, but who gonna make them really want to get up?
Shit gotta make sense. Like you say, shark, you be the wolf,
Yeah.
but there's the monster.
Yes, but that's like a real monster.
Bro, that shit don't make sense. But that's what,
Monster.
yo, is that proof? All right, we got the legendary tape in the building. Legend. But, what makes sense? Like, what makes the most sense? I know you said get a line of seats, Brooks Brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Get line, get your money. Take away, get the easy money. You ain't gotta sweat no more. Not saying you ain't gotta work, you ain't gotta sweat. He's paid the career where he could sit down at a table and get this money. He could come out with a Terence Crawford series now. Just whatever, doing whatever he like to do. We're gonna watch. Nobody. The fighting part, people don't understand what it's like to be a fighter. Really, a lot of times fighters really don't be interested in certain fights. It's when a guy see himself up here and then fighting a guy down here, it don't interest him. So therefore, when he train, he not gonna really train. He's gonna train, but he not gonna train. He's not gonna listen. He gonna feel like his coach taking it too serious, and he's like, man, this ain't even that. But your coach like, listen, you can get fucked up. I'm telling you, you don't want to listen. You go in there and fight that guy. I've seen it happen.
But I think there was enough action, and I think Crawford displayed his skill enough, even to someone with not the most trained eye, that they know they saw a very high-level athlete perform something very high level last night. I think he gained the sports world's attention last night and respect. He already did after Spence, but it went to another level in this fight.
And I think even the fight itself, like just from a median level, but then the moments where they were having these exchanges, like kind of late in the fight, then people were like, all right, it was good. Then like, okay, I saw somebody like, they're squabbing. Like there's a fight here. So I think it did.
And Crawford closed the show.
Yeah.
In 10, 11, 12, he stood in there and landed some hard shots and rocked Canelo at the bell. He didn't, well, James was talking about the great Floyd Mayweather. Floyd would go up on you 8-0 and then coast, and you might as well turn the fight off at midway through the ninth. Like, you know, he's not going to, but Crawford didn't do that. But he wasn't up 8-0, to be fair to Floyd, and Floyd was when he fought Canelo, so he could do that. But instead steps on the gas. Bud is a finisher. You know, he closes really strong. He closes really strong in every exchange. That's one of his gifts. He's the best counterpuncher of his era, one of the greatest counterpunchers that lived. But the great fighters, James would tell us about this. James and Mike McCallum put on fights that exemplify what I'm talking about: initiating and punctuating, being first, being last. That's one of the things that makes Crawford who he is. So no, I think it was a good enough fight that it certainly didn't hurt boxing.
Yeah, I think Sport of Boxing delivered last night. I mean, Crawford didn't deliver.
Yeah,
Manny,
yeah, did.